Wow, this is an excellent display here from Rashi. And very good job.
So an chain unending. Oh, unending gonna pop the invitation.
Wait, what? You ever seen a plane that big, Bradley?
Arcanine Magician.
Okay, I haven't seen this one in a while. Ooh la la, baguette.
Alright, hello everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. So, okay, come on the audio. Anyways, just going to go already on the game. The two starters, as you can see, we're gonna have Gagdo from DS, JoeSense, and Shuhei from Switcheroo. Alright, let's go already to the game. And good luck to both teams for the following bar. Skill wise, yeah, pretty much it's pretty much about skills when it comes to how you want to play the decks, or even I guess the build of the deck you want to do. It's pretty skilled as a kind of war indeed. Also hello to you Winter, hello Poppy Master, and hello Hazy of course, Yodam the Kid. Hope everyone is doing marvelous today. So we're gonna have already first turn for Gagdo playing Shiranui, having already a Samurai Saga on the field, but 3 back row. Fiend Shane that is going to be using it on the Recycler, but then there's going to be a Cosmic Cyclone, so the effect is still going to pass, and Salfifnir is going to be sent to the graveyard. Now Salfifnir is going to activate the effect. He special summons itself by discarding a Crystron, and you know what he does, he destroys himself, or he can destroy a card, but usually want to destroy Salfifnir because then you can special summon another Crystron to begin the combos, and ideally try to destroy Umi unless the opponent is waiting for a good moment to destroy it before, or even banish it. Now, you don't really see any Cosmic Cyclone usually when it comes to Shiranui builds, so it's going to be way more difficult to actually banish Umi. So if there's any SSA early in the game, Shuhei can already get some nice beginning for his team. That is actually, yes, that's a strong start to actually take Crystron. And in general, like even in Season 7, Crystron was an impressive deck. And that was actually one of the best you could see as well. Alright, so now he gets Miger. He decides to go for the Recycler. So my guess will be that since his graveyard looks like that, where he has sent a Thizevern and has a Salfifnir, my guess is he's gonna want to use the effect of Thizevern just to bring a monster to his hand, which explains why he's targeting the Recycler. And that is a great timing. The Ballista is going to destroy Recycler, and Smiker does not have the effect anymore. But still, we're gonna have Thizevern using its effect in the grave. Is gonna add a card to the hand. Well, CC has been always a strong card from a long time. I think back in 2017 when it was released in the 8th main box, a lot of people have been sleeping in the card, but some, I guess, those who were playing competitive already knew how good the card is. And the fact that this card stood for a long time is just showing how good it is. Not only do you get to activate skills early, but you also get to banish a spell trap. Face up, face down, depends on the situation and depends on the deck you play, but it has been always good as a card. Definitively strong. So now we have the Shogun Saga on Gakto's side. Oh, he normal summons Gozuki. I do think in the grave he has 2 spell and traps, so no, he has a Solitaire. Oh wow. Oh wow. Lethal turn 3. Gagdo taking the first game. Okay. That is a huge start for Drosens in my opinion, because generally if you see Shiranui against Crystron is the deck that tends to win. That is actually pretty huge here. So, good beginning, good fight. I do wonder if they are going to be doing repeat, because that's the usual thing you want to do, especially with this kind of matchup, but they may want to change, we never know. That's actually huge. It's not that he didn't open good, Rancid. I think you missed part of the first duel. The thing is, he opened good, but the difference is Gagdo chained very good. So for example, he had Smiger, the Tiger, you know, the level 3. Smiger was on the field and he had the Recycler. So instead of targeting Umi, he decided to target the Recycler, the level 3 that is on the field. And instead of using its effect, well, instead of being able to do so, there was a Ballista squad that was activated by Gagdo, giving him the win. So that's the reason why Crystron lost, just because Gagdo used properly Ballista squad, entirely blocking the combos from the Crystron player. We're gonna have the second duel, and I'm gonna have to see if they've done a repeat, because I actually have no clue. Alright, so they did say there's a repeat. Let me just change the button. So yeah, that is a repeat that I actually expected to see, especially when you have a matchup which is Crystron against Shiranui. Alright, level augmentation is already activated. And I'm quite surprised that we see level augmentation. No, wait, was it duplication? I can be wrong. No, it is truly augmentation. Augmentation giving him a Shogun Saga right in the first turn, decides to banish the squire, draws and discards a card. And he's going to discard a Ballista squad. Only one card set, so he still can be fine depending on the card that is set. He's still going to be able to open nice combos as well. It's not the end for him. We're going to have the Scrap Recycler activating its effect. We may see the same kind of opening, which is going to be trying to send a Self-Fafnir in the graveyard. I'll see what he's going to do. Actually, while I let Shuhei do the combos, I do think there's still a lot of decks that do open good in first turn. I still think Hero does open good first turn. The thing is how you build the deck again. And I've seen, I mean, since I personally play Clown Wars, I tend to see any kind of deck lists. And if you play some spells and traps, it will be actually very good. I've seen, for example, Offerings to the Doomed. And I've also seen Treacherous Trap Hole. It can actually be good for them if they open like that, because Hero is having 3 monsters in defense. You're in a good position for defense, and then you have like back row. You're actually fine, basically. So he's gonna do an early synchro. He decides to go for Coral Dragon, goes for the trap. I'm quite intrigued because he doesn't target Shogun Saga. Seems that he does not want to see an early Sun Saga, so instead he's gonna try the back row to see if he can force his opponent to use it. And it was a Ballista squad indeed. Okay, so I didn't really read that, but I expected just a bit because of like the card that he decided to send. Now with Preciordo, he's gonna decide to do the special summon. He also uses early Quarian Gendrax. That's why he summons the token. Of course, Coral Dragon being a tuner level 6, then Side Tree, and using the effect of Rosenix, Quarian Gendrax turn 2. Oh, that is huge. That is actually huge. If he has any... I don't think he has any way to summon, but he is in a very good position. There's still ways to play against Quarian Gendrax though, so it's not over. He's gonna decide to summon Gozuki. Send Solitaire. Oh wait, does he have a tuner? I don't think he has. It's only 2 traps in solitaire, so he will need a tuner in that case. Nothing. So any monster summoned by Shuhei is going to give himself the win. We'll see. The reason why he didn't activate the trap is because he could revive any Crystron. Well, pretty much when this card, Quarrying Gendrax, when it is destroyed, doesn't matter the side, you can actually take one of the banished monsters and you can actually have it on your field. So I guess he didn't really want to let his opponent have, let's say, any of the Crystrons to then open combos yet again. Yeah, that's over. Summoning Genix when Dyne was enough. All he needs is a stack with Acquiring Gendrax and he's going to be fine, I guess. But I'll have to pay attention. There's also Gozuki, so I think Shuhei is actually paying attention to Gozuki, so yeah. He's gonna have more defense still, so he's gonna have almost lethal, but not really. I think the best thing will be if he destroys Umi, that's game. That will be all Shuhei needs to win the game in an easier way. So that will be the strategy that Shuhei wants to go for, because destroying Umi means you gain yet again the 200 attack and defense you lost because of the field spell. So Quarrying Gendrax is going to gain yet again the 3000 attack and 3000 defense. Yeah, he's clearly going for it then. Oh no, well, he's going for a Synchro. We'll see. Goes for Smyger. Black Cow's name is Quarian. Is it called Black Cow in Korean? That's quite a weird name because he doesn't really look black. Like, he has maybe shadow or like dark wings, but it's sort of gold. Wait, why? Like, Shuhei had lethal this turn. Unless he has red like a Sphere Kuribo, but that's surprising me. I do not understand that. I'm gonna watch. That is completely going to change the situation of this match, clearly. And yo, Shed Mitrai, I'm actually going to raid you after that, my boy. And wishing you good luck as well for the commentary team was, dude. Gonna be nice to see you with Stephen Freshy as well. Man, I'm actually shocked because, let's be honest, he didn't pop Umi. Like, Shuhei had lethal because you see he has, I mean, Yusei has 1200. You do 3000 minus 1700, that was enough for game. But like, the only thing I'm thinking is he thought maybe of having like, I don't know, a Sphere Kuribo, which could be possible indeed because you can see this card in Shirani, but that's quite surprising. Shuhei getting forced by this Sun Saga, so only one Synchro gets to be sent, and he's going to decide to go for Amatrix. He's gonna bring Rion, and I know he's gonna attack Rion in priority. First of all, that's Gozuki against Rion, and then I guess he's going to go for Quarrying Gendrax. Okay, he's going for the monsters instead of the Synchro right of the boss, so I guess he has another way to play over the Synchro. Fair enough, that's actually very good yet again from Gagda, because he's going to not let his opponent really destroy Umi in an easy way, then possibly have lethal on the next turn or anything like that. So now it's going to be the turn of Shuhei. Yeah, the thing is that Bash, but still, if he puts, like, the thing is, how shall I say, Shuhei's position, if he popped Umi, he will have lethal because if he knows there's no Sphere Kuribo on his opponent's side, then he is fine. But I do agree that maybe Gagdo is playing with the toggle with the button, you know, because most of the duelists, they're going to play with the button, so they can say off to the effect, but maybe they have a Sphere Kuribo in hand, and that could change a lot the pace. So I do understand why he doesn't pop Umi for this reason. Like, there's a ton of things you can see in one same duel. Oh, Karma Cut. Karma Gut triggers, he's going to banish Brionac. And he really had Sphere Karibo as well. He really had Sphere Karibo out of all the cards. So yeah, Shuhei has done a good read. A very big read from Shuhei. So not destroying Umi was definitively good. He just was instead playing patiently just to be able to potentially have lethal in another situation. That was actually very good. Yeah, exactly. So that's a very big read here. He's gonna use the effect of Gazaki, which is sending a Shiranui to the graveyard. He's gonna send a Squire. Let me see, does he have any tuner? No, he has one in the grave. The other one is actually banished. Making a level 6 Synchro we're gonna have. Exactly, yeah. The best one. It's going to be Hades. Hades, when summoned, when you destroy a monster, he cannot activate any effects. So it's almost game, depending on what's face down here. There's still a card that can activate. It's going to be Crystron Entry. Crystron Entry letting the player summon 2 monsters, one from the hand and one from the graveyard. And he is still very safe because not only that, but you can use either Rion or Scythree. So one of the two is going to be enough. And he's going to decide to use Scythree instead of Ryan. Scythree, he takes the Scrappley Cycler, level 3, making Amatrix, changing the position of all monsters. And he chains with Rion again. Yeah, fair enough. Making powered Insectron early. That is going to be changing a lot the pace, but if I'm correct, he has still some. No, he has none. That is going to be big because Sun Saga cannot even protect himself. So it's going to be a card that gets destroyed. Yeah, completely turn of events. The fact that he had Crystal Entry changes entirely the pace. And also using it when you don't have any cards on the field is very good. So now he uses Crystron Entry's effect. From the graveyard, he banishes it. And what he does is he changes the level of one of the monsters. And also he sends a Crystron, which I think is it's his objective clearly. Okay, Fiendish Chain. Oh, that is actually good. Because now he's going to be looking to destroy Amatrix. And he's going to take time later on for the Zectron. All he needs is destroy Amatrix. The effect is still going to be negated. And you pretty much block the paths for Shuhei. Okay, he does that. So now Amatrix gets blocked by the effect of Hades. Yeah, we'll see that, Shane Matrai. I think both teams are very good. Both of them actually won one game so far. So Dronsens is a team that I don't know much, but I know some of the players in there, so I know I can expect good stuff from them, of course. And then you have Switcheroo, which has been, if I'm correct, they were in the qualifiers, so in the top 10 previous season. So they're also a very strong team. Alright, he destroys all the monsters. And he has still one back row. So Gakdo coming back step by step. And Shuhei can also still do a comeback. He has 4 cards in hand and we do not know what he can play, so we'll see. That's Team Wars for you, Benesian. It's really like the Team Wars format is really about enduring this kind of duels. And you need to think wisely what kind of play you want to make. Another scrap recycler that was in the graveyard, and I think there's also a hand trap on the side of Shuhei, or that's what I suppose. Only one card set. He has 3 cards. Seems that he does not get a good opening against Shiranui at all. Is going to be attacking and it passes. Christian making a comeback with acquiring Gendrax, but then Gagdo step by step making a comeback thanks to some Saga, but also thanks to King Hades. The second point is going to go for Draw Sense. Huge duel, big up for both players here. Big up to both of them. That was an insane duel here. And I'm also going to be changing the records of both players. So we're gonna have another player instead of Shuhei. I'm also going to be putting this. But yeah, what a duel. I don't know what to say about that. That was impressive from both of the players. Great plays on both sides. Great plays. That read of Sphere Kuribo was actually definitively good because you tend to not really see that much Sphere Kuribo in some of the Shiranui builds. You could usually see some Lancey as well. I mean, that's pretty much the kind of cards I do see as a hand trap in my opinion. But yeah, definitively that was impressive. Alright, I think I know which is the next player, and I also realized that Shuhei had the icon from the KC Grand Tournament Top 16. I just realized that. That's amazing. Alright, I'm going to be removing that. And the next player is going to be Matsudi. So, if I recall correctly, he was in the top 8. Shuhei, I do believe it is top 16. I actually do not remember. Right, so Matsudi, of course, with the 2 decks. And whenever both players are ready, I'm going to join and spectate them. So, who's the boss team of Switcheroo? Actually, I don't remember who's the owner. I don't remember that, so I can actually try to check this out. I shall have maybe downloaded the roster of both teams. That will be nice to actually show it, so people can know which kind of teams we have. I think I should do this for the next Team Wars, but yeah. I'll tell you who's the owner, unless someone said it. And yes, Dantec, it is a Japanese clan. I think 100% Japanese as well. Drawsense is like mainly Korean instead. Because when you see Seaflow is French, so I just know my guy. Alright, let me see what we have, because I'm seeing Carly Carmin. Oh, okay, that is Witchcraft, so you can see Genny has used her effect. Now that is unusual to see Power of Dark as a skill, but it has been played in the past. So that might be the new way for Witchcrafter to play with this skill, and I think it's definitely going to change a lot because they have at least 200 attack and defense. So it's boosted stats, and when you know that Madame Ver is such a huge boss monster, it's going to change a lot. Alright, I was trying to help someone in the chat. Let me see what happened. So Gozuki gets summoned and gets negated, so pretty much normal. You're not going to want to see any Shiranui sent to the graveyard, so you're going to be slowing down the pace of Shiranui by having Vera on the field. Shimeda gets summoned. He's going to go for a simple battle phase. So the only monster on Matsudi's side that has a quick effect is going to be Madame Ver. Yo Kuruma, hope you're doing good. And welcome everyone as well. I forgot to say hi because I tend to rarely see the chat sometimes. I'll try my best. So we're having so far Shimida attacking Gozuki. No, if Gozuki gets destroyed, it's not going to be dramatic. He's going to be using Karma card. And the question is, which card do you want to banish? He's going to go for Shimida Banished. And if he has another trap, he's fine. Seems not. He's going to let Madame Ver get the spell back in hand. So I do think Matsuri has only one spell. I can actually be wrong. Hmm. It could have been possible that he decides to use the second trap, but if he doesn't have Ballista Squad, I don't think there's any use. So what he's going to maybe opt for is patience and hopefully get the correct trap. Because what you want to do is be sure that Madame Vere has been, like, it is outside, you know, like you don't have any Madame Vere, it's at the end for Madame Vere. So when you know that the field is like wildly open on Matsudi's side, that's when Gacto is going to think, I shall attack for lethal. That's the kind of strategy that Gacto is going to be looking for. What I'm curious though is he was able to use Gozuki no negate, which probably means that Matsudi has only one spell. And the spell being Holiday that he drew on the 2 previous turns. He's gonna summon Pitore. If he does that, that means he has a second one. He must have a second spell because he's summoning Pitore out of all the monsters. Unless he's looking for a simple attack by having Pitore on the field. Alright, that's what he's looking for. Gozuki getting destroyed. That is going to be the end phase for him. Oh, I just realized that. Poppy Master with the sub, thank you very much. Thank you very much for supporting Team Was. Alright, so now we have Gacto drawing the card. 2 cards in hand, and he's gonna have Solitaire, which might get its effect negated. No, it does not. Matsudi is not falling in the trap. He knows there's something fishy with this kind of setup, which means there's a trap that is going to later help him, and that's when he's going to want to negate the effects. Alright, so Synchro going on. We're going to see Samurai Saga. He's going to bring back the other tuner. So he's going to go for the level 8 Synchro. He's going to go for Shogun Saga. And I think he's going to banish the Synchro. No, he goes for Gozuki. He is fine with this. Fair enough. Now the question is, what is he looking for? Because that would be sad to see Sun Saga tributed for no reason in case he plans to summon the level 10. Peter using her effect, bringing a Genny on the field. And I do think he can actually destroy Madame Vere potentially. I'm actually not really sure about that, but the fact that Holiday has been discarded, sometimes it can mean something. No, he's going to take the time, so Genny is going to get destroyed instead. And as usual, when Genny is in the graveyard, you can target one of these spells, and you can be able to activate the effect of the spell. And it's going to be the same effect as the spell you banished. For example, you have Genny, and you decide to actually target Holiday, well, you can do so. Well, he's going to first of all do Pitore, so he's going to be looking for another spell, or in the grave, or in hand, so one of the two. He's going to discard Unveiling. No uses Genny, so potentially Unveiling if he plans to summon the Vere that he has in hand, which is what I guess, or even Edel, which is another witchcraft that you can get to see. And he's going to be normal summoning, well, normal summoning, special summoning Madame Vere in attack position. Well, it's going to be more difficult, especially when you have that much Madame Vere. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be quite an issue because he needs to be sure that the 2 Madame Vere gets destroyed. If he doesn't, well, if he wants to lock his opponent. So the tuner gets destroyed, and that is going to be the end phase. Does he have anything to counter them? I think no. So that means Holiday gets back in the hand, uses Cosmic Cyclone to the face down, which potentially is Masterpiece or Patronus, and it's going to be Patronus. Now Patronus is a quite important card that some of the players do not play. To make it simple, it is a card that lets you get back Witchcrafters to the deck. So you actually refill the deck, but then you're able to add a Witchcrafter card to your hand, and most of the cards you're going to be looking for are spells, and I think, because I'm stupid, the effect says so. You do send the Witchcrafter cards that are banished back to the deck, but then you add a spell that says Witchcrafter, that lists Witchcrafter. Gozuki gets summoned. He's going to be sending a Shiranu Solitaire. In this position, he's able to do Synchro, but if he does it with Solitaire, it's not going to be beneficial. He's going to do the second Shogun Saga. Uses Ballista. Well, that is going to clearly change the pace. Saving Ballista in that nice moment. And I think he's very sure that there's almost no 2-spell. Well, actually, it's going to be game. To explain it a bit, he can also go for Sun Saga if he wants to, which I think will be a possibility. But the idea is the following. He has 2 cards, potentially 2 spells, and if he does not want to have any effect activated, he's going to be like, I just negate your effect. But he discards a spell, which is not going to be enough for him to just defend himself by like boosting attack and defense for himself. And he goes for the Sun Saga just to put a bit of pressure. Make him at a very discard the card. So no, Shogun Saga is back at 3000, Sun Saga's effect negated. But he's able to attack, so it doesn't even matter for him. And normally that's going to be lethal in this position. Has a spell, so it must be 1800 and then 3000. Enough lethal. Gakdo taking the win yet again for Joe Sense. It's going to be the 3rd point for him. Alright, so now that can be an important position. Does Switcheroo want to use already the repeat yet again or not? That is not going to be easy. They might not do so, we never know. I actually don't know if they plan to do so. I'm gonna try to see if they are actually asking for a repeat. Okay, so Matsudi left the table, so it potentially means he's changing the deck. Yeah, the S is going to be... is getting good so far. Like, they're doing very good plays, especially Gakdo. Gakdo is doing amazing plays, in my opinion. Well, they have only one repeat on Switcheroo's side, but I don't think they're really going to be using it. I will be surprised, but I don't think it's good. Well, let me just first join them. You actually have some Koreans, Cyboy. I think Cyboy doesn't realize that he has some comrades, Korean friends. But well, really sorry if I cannot speak Korean, but I'm hoping someday I can. So let me see first. Have they done repeat? No, no repeat. New deck, as you can see, Colin Kessler, 22 cards. Wait, 22 cards. I actually have no clue. You tend to see Black Wings in general as a deck. Would it be a Shiranui? Well, I'm going to be surprised. Let's see what Matsudi is playing. First turn, though, goes for Gakdo, level augmentation, and he's going to go for the early Sun Saga. Yeah, very true. I forgot about that. Potentially Karakuri and restart as well. Yeah, I'm actually not used to which tractors I can see with Karakuri, but the good sum up is any tractor can actually play Karakuri. It's going to be normal summoning Inashichi, so Inashichi is going to let him search a Karakuri from the deck. Well, Karakuri card. He's going to decide to add Cash Cash. Ooh, what a top deck. What a top deck. Early Karma Cut. Any monster and that's game. Any monster and that is game. Yeah. I actually forgot he had also the tuner as well as the Squire Saga, because that's what he used to make Sun Saga using level of augmentation, so that is pretty much over here. That's the karma card we know. It happens. That's a huge start for DrawSense. 4-0 so far, Gagdo undefeated yet. That is impressive. And sadly, Man City is going to have to leave the table. It's time to see another player. Alright, just putting the scores right now. And I'm also going to switch while waiting for the next player on Switcheroo's side. Now that's actually impressive results, especially when you're playing against a team that has been in the top 10 and even top 8 in the previous season. That's actually a big score to see. The fact that there's DrawSense having a 4-point lead, they might be able to put a lot of pressure on Switcher definitively, depending on the on the decks that the team decides to send. So we will see. So yeah, Popeye, Witchcrafter lost, and then he brought a second deck, which was a Karakuri. He lost yet again. And anyways, let's just go right into, we have Act on the table, and I'm going to click already in Spectate. Let's watch both players. So Act on the top, playing Mokuba Kaiba. Alright, so Mokuba can be... Well, I don't think it can be Karakuri, but you can see Dark Magician. You can see also Ritual Beast potentially. And I don't think I have any more guesses so far. So yet again, Gagdo, with the first turn, he's going to do the simple opening. Squire with the tuner decides to go for level augmentation. And he's going to go for a Sun Saga early yet again, like in the previous match. So early Sun Saga on the field. And with a classic turn, he's going to be setting 2 cards. Actually, Evilai, yes, that's one of the decks I didn't think, but potentially we can see Evilai. And he's going to be playing Ritual Beast instead. Opens with Elder, very good for him. He's going to be able to normal summon yet again. And an effect cannot be negated. Yes, exactly, Vista. That is definitively Seal RB. And, I mean, that's the acronym. But a lot of people know it means see you later, Ritual Beast. So now he normal summons Kenahog. Amazing opening. Now he can banish Battle Fiend that he seems he didn't have it in hand, which is very good for him. Ulti Kenahog using its effect. And he's going to target the 2 monsters, the 2 beasts. Doesn't matter because he can still do a special summon. And he's going to have Battle Fiend and Elder summoned. And he's going to look for sending Sun Saga back to the extra deck by using the effect of Battle Fiend. Unless there is a trap that chains and decides to destroy the Battle Fiend. Oh, that is actually nice to see. He adds Retail Beast Return because he's preventing the destruction, or yeah, pretty much the destruction of Battle Fiend. That is a good read in this position. So what's going to happen? So Battle Fiend uses the effect. The cute Dolphin uses the effect on the impressive Knight Sun Saga. It all depends on what Gagdo wants to do. He can actually decide to chain to destroy his Sun Saga. Oh no, he's going to do Fiendish Chain. Oh, that's way clever, yeah. Way more clever. Not only that, he's going to have a Sun Saga that is saved, but he also negates the effect of Battle Fiend. What's more, each Ritual Beast, and that is something I got to learn every time I play the deck, each Ritual Beast can be special summoned only once per turn. So for example, if he wanted to actually switch yet again with monsters, he could not. As you can see, he has Winda, Battle Fiend, Elder. The 2 last monsters have been already summoned, so he will not be able to do anything. So the only card we're going to see is a Ulti Battle Fiend. Though Ulti Battle Fiend is going to bring a Winda, no matter what. Oh no, good. that is completely changing the pace. King Hades yet again is back. So even if he decides to go for Winda, Winda's effect is going to get negated when it gets destroyed. So I don't think it is lethal, but he blocks his opponent completely with this opening. 2 set cards yet again. That's a huge field on Gakdo's side. Rachel Beast cornered in this position. Ooh, Sphere Kuribo. Sphere Kuribo on the Sun Saga. Out of Pedalfin using her effect. That is a Sphere Kuribo that completely saved him from destruction. And yet again, it's a turn of events. Going to be the turn of action. Let me remove that mouse. Hopefully nobody saw that mouse. Well, first of all, Pedalfin using the effect on which card is the question. He's going to go secure. He wants to actually send back to the extra deck Sun Saga. Yet again, we're gonna have Altic and Hawk, exactly like in the previous turn. Honestly, you can tend to say it's obvious or not. It always depends on what the people bring. I don't know exactly the kind of deck list you can see in Team War, so even if you say it's obvious, I'm going to be honest, you can't know much. People play their way. Sphere Kuribo, of course, it is like seen a lot in Ritual Beast. Definitively Max K. That's like a card you see a lot in any deck, and even in Ritual Beast has been one of the cards used very often before the Shadow Game version established. Needle Sailing gets to be activated. Oh, that is such a good timing because now all the monsters get destroyed. Not only that, but he special summon Elder. We're gonna have Winda still summoned. So it's going to be a free attack, but I do think Gakdo is able to do a synchro, doesn't he? He cannot, he has no tuner. He's gonna need something to come back. Well, he skips turn. Yeah, fair enough, Max K. The thing is that when you tend to see so many deck lists, you always get confused, and you tend to forget some cards. For example, Sphere Kuribo. So you have a good point, Max K. The Karma Cut changing yet again the pace, banishing the Winda, and he actually, wow, he top decks Squire out of all the cards, and he's gonna bring his Samurai Saga on the field. Why he didn't mill the tuner? Good question for why he didn't mill it. Yeah, he actually decided to mill Solitaire instead. I think what he wanted to do is, in case he opens Squire, to just get a free special summon of the tuner instead of going for the earliest tuner summon. That must be because he wanted to be patient. Cannot know much. Max K. We're gonna have Canadia getting activated. 2 face down monsters. Ooh, Ritual Beast return. Now he is able to special summon yet again a Winda. He's gonna attack Samurai Saga. I mean, he has the tuner yet. Ah, no, I think I know which tuner. Yeah, okay. I see. What's the stuff? And he summons Elder out of all the monsters yet again. Actually, let me see the graveyard of the Shiranu player. Yeah, tuner is not here. Must have been face down, which is something I missed. Alright, ulti kind of hawk yet again. He doesn't go for Pedal Fiend, instead he's gonna want to use the effect. Ah yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. There's no questions asked. He goes for a Pellet because he can actually get Pedal Fiend banished again to then be able to use the effect of Pedal Fiend to then secure the lethal. Unless he knows he doesn't get the ability to special summon. Let's see. Lara is going to bring back Kenahawk. So now he can go for the second ulti Kenahawk. And by doing so, if he has more Ritual Beasts in the deck, which I think he does, he's going to be able to get Pedal Fiend on the field, which is what he wants for, to secure lethal, and also have a ulti Pedal Fiend on the field, which is very good for him. He already played the Needle Sealing Nunu. It was used earlier on when he had Pedal Fiend and Elder on the opponent's side. Hasn't gone yet for Pedal Fiend, so okay, he goes right now. Looking for 2 ulti Apelio. Is he? No, he goes for 2 Winda. Oh, okay, yes. I understand now. Yeah, that's the best he could do, actually. And that is going to be game. Yep. Act taking the game for his team. First defeat for Gagdo. What a huge game. Big up to both players yet again. And now this time Gagdo finally has to change his deck. And of course, no repeat for him. So let me see where Act is. He's here. Alright. Honestly, Act played very good against the Shiranui. He played very good. Can't say much. We're gonna go with the next duel. Zane Truesdale. Alright, that must be some shenanigans. Lunalight or Cyber Dragon. I mean, I don't think it's Cyber Dragon ever. Could be possible, but I will be surprised. Act with a good opening. He gets Elder on the field right off the bat. Has a Winter as well. And he's going to stay with a nice ulti Pedal Fiend. And he's playing Cyber Dragon. That is a big surprise. Cybernetic Fusion support. He's gonna have to bring the skill so he can actually do. I think he's gonna go for. Yeah, exactly. Like Cyber and Dragon is what he is looking for to force ulti Pedal Fiend to use her effect. Potentially. Let's see. I mean, it could also be Chimera Tech. Chimera Tech over Dragon could be another possibility if he has more machines in hand. Because the thing is, he uses this spell so he can banish monsters for any position. Yes, okay. Going for the Over Dragon. That's a great choice. So now by having Over Dragon, he can actually attack multiple times Ritual Beast and has more attack and defense than anybody. Oh my. Yet again another Sphere Kariba is going to stop his plays. Ay. Another Sphere Kariba for the protection. Act yet again is surviving. Well, yeah, exactly, Shenmue, try. So, one thing that happens is, as a player that just joins a team, let's say for the current war, everybody sends 2 decks. So you cannot really have the right to just switch for counter and etc. It's just not possible. So you brought 2 decks. If you lose with one, you need to bring the second one, and it's always in order. So for example, in terms of matchup, indeed, Ritual Beast has way more control over Cyber Dragon because of the bounces, and Gacta is gonna have the second loss, but still great performance with the 4 first wins for his team, giving his team a big advantage. But Switcher with the second point, so things can change. Alright, so Act is still alive in this position. And I'm going to see who's the next player. Honestly, RB, like, it's an insane deck when it comes to like a deck that comes back. I think I've always been like intrigued by how different you have like Team Wars and Clan Wars being different, because both tournaments I've known for a long time as a player, but they're clearly different by the way you play. You have Clan Wars, which is more of how do I counter my opponent with a same deck, but Team Wars is how do I build a deck so I can counter most of what my opponent is going to play. So you think less of using side deck cards such as a System Down, for example, if you want to counter machine decks and things like that. Like, will be funny, will be interesting as well to see that, but I mean, if you play that, you tend to break, and if you get it early in the game with a certain deck, you can actually be in a bad position if you're not fighting a machine deck. So they'll play instead like common staples like Sphere Karibo, for example, also Lancia, which are way better cards to play, more versatile against your opponents. And it's gonna be Seaflow on the table, already going for the matchup. Oops. Alright. Oh, he's going to be playing Blue Eyes. Oh, first turn. First turn Blue Eyes tend to be very good, especially against any deck. I mean, especially against any deck. That sounds wrong, because if you have tons of Cyclones already, such as decks, let's say Cyber Dragon will be one of them that can defeat Blue Eyes, unless you don't open with the Cosmic Cyclones. Ooh, 3-card set. Let's see the opening on the Act side. He's going to open with Kanahawk. So no Elder, he's going to have only one monster on his side. So he could go for Chaining, which is like blocking the plays using Kanahawk, but is he looking for that? He's going to go for Raiki Break. So even better, because not only that, the stone has been sent to the graveyard, and Kanahawk is in the graveyard. So one of the only ways for Kanahawk to be back on the field will be through the help of Apelio. And yes, okay, he's using it. He's using already Ritual Beast's Return, bringing back the Kanahawk. So it's still a very good turn for the Blue Eyes player, because he forced Act to use his spell just to bring back Kanahawk. Alright, so he might be having a lot of dots, because if he doesn't have Tamers, which is what he's going to look for, he's potentially going to be sending Winda for security. He could also send Elder if he wants. I don't see really the point of sending Elder, so he's going for Winda. Wise choice. And fair enough as well. Going for the battle. One attack. And now he special summons the Vanilla Blue Eyes. and he plays alternative evolution. I do wonder... Okay, he uses the effect, so that must mean he has a tuner in hand before doing this play. That was quite a miss. That's actually a big miss here. He didn't even need to use the effect, because when you use the effect you cannot do the battle phase. Oof. Lara bringing back Canahawk, so if he has any way to counter the summon of Canahawk, he's fine. That's all he needs to do, to destroy or banish Canahawk, and he's going to be very fine. Otherwise, if he's not sure, he can go for the early banish, and he goes banishing Lara, for example, using Karma Cut. Even better, he's going to have Fiendish Shame, which is blocking the effect of Lara. No answer. I keep forgetting Sphere Curry, but Max K does good calling me that. Yeah, he does good. Still trying to understand the way people play sometimes, I swear. Thanks again, Max K. So now he has the tuner indeed, and he's gonna be looking for Synchro, but does he want Vermilion is my question. He could go for that, but I guess he's knowing there's potentially an ambush. And let me see the grave. Now there's just one monster. But then he has two banished. Okay, Canadia. Canadia to the stone. No Sphere Kuribo on Act's side. Oh, Divine Wrath. That is going to negate the effect of Lara. I think there's nothing, yes. I'm just trying to think what could be the turn of events and how does Seaflow want to play. Because in the other cases, Act will be giving up this duel, so he has something in hand, potentially a Sphere Kuribo, which is why he's not giving up. That's at least my guess. So Seaflow, so far he sets a card, he's going to flip up the tuner. Yeah, this is still a win condition. Actually, I wasn't really talking about disconnection, I was more like talking of giving up the match, you know, because you know you don't have any more cards. But because of the delays and all, Act clearly has something in hand. So now he uses the effect of the White Stone of Ancient that has been banished. He's not going to do any synchro, he's going to try to attack to see what happens. No Sphere Kuribo at all. Seaflow is going to take the point, so 5th point and first team to actually reach 5 by Draw Sense. So no more Retail Beasts on Act's side, he's gonna have to bring the next deck. Crow delay. Ah, very good. Very clever as well, Rancid. I forgot this. You know what, I'm already going to spectate and maybe comment a bit, and then I think after this duel I'm gonna have to show one thing. Hopefully I remember that, or otherwise Haze is gonna kick my ass. But yes, DD Crow has been released recently, and in terms of timing, I think that may be the card that was having a timing, but in that case, it will have used it early just in case to be able to not let your opponent have his plays. But I think he drew it late, so that's a nice view. And he is playing Cyber Dragon already. A lot of people said that Act may be playing Cyber Dragon, and it is the case. Going for the early Cybernetic Fusion support, uses Cyber Style. Now he has 2 Cyber Proto Dragons on the field, as well as a Cyber Dragon Core. 1 card set only. No, the good thing is Seafloor, or let's say Blue Eyes players in general, they don't really play Cosmic Cyclones, but I still do wonder. Yeah, Seafloor is French for those who doesn't know. He's not Korean. He's a French player. It's gonna be normal summoning Sage. Summon Spirit Dragon and return alternative to hand, still the correct play. Definitively. In case the opponent have Karibo and Bones Blue Eyes to hand with Petal Fin and Spirit Negate Window. Yeah, definitively. That's pretty much what I've seen as a possible way to play being a Blue Eyes player. Good points, Max K. And Hazy having fun with Nightbot while there is a duel. I think what happens is Hazy is actually hacking the system of Twitch. By going to Twitch, he's able to log in into the Duel Links, and he's able to actually manipulate the match, giving a win to Seafloor very fast. Please don't do that, Hazy. We don't want hackers. Maybe with the stupid jokes. Anyways, now he has Sage. I don't know if he has a second Sage, but it doesn't really seem so. And Blue Eyes players, they do play a lot with the back row. I mean, not play with the back row of the opponent, but they play using back row. So protection. And the fact that he gets the second turn is actually dangerous for him, because Act can have this advantage. Overflow or the fusion spell, it's going to be one of the two. I'm just going to verify. I do believe the core has added the... Oh no, wait. He added the fusion spell. Goes for the enemy controller. Okay. Enemy controller. And he's going to be taking on a Cyber Proto, which... I don't think he can attack with it. I do not think he can attack with it. Can he? I mean, there's the skill that says Cyber Style and you cannot attack with it. Oh, he can! Oh, that is going to be a huge impact. So now he forces the Cyber Lloyd Fusion. And it's gonna have to be a Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. And then Seafloor is gonna have to pray for which card can be alive. Divine Wrath, Fiendish Chain gets destroyed. While now Seafloor really has to rely on luck with this position, particularly so. Honestly, it doesn't matter the position of Rampage. Put it in defense or attack, it doesn't change much. Because the idea is that you're, well, the Cyber Dragon Call that has been Econ take, he cannot continue the attack. Some cards, indeed you must put it in attack because of how the condition of the card says so, but enemy controller you can say no to the attack. But I do see the point that Max K says. That's generally what you're looking for, which is putting the monster in attack because you know you have more attack than a monster from your opponent. He's gonna have Raigeki Break and also had the stone, so he's potentially coming back. But I don't think so. He has Cyber Load Fusion, so that is going to be... That is game. Cyber Twin Dragon, and that is game. That is GG for Act taking the game against Blue Eyes. And Act is now going to take a point yet again for Switcheroo. No, it will depend on what Flo is playing as the next deck. Maybe it can counter Cyber Dragon or maybe not. Both players having one deck remaining. Okay, just going to click on spectate. Not going to comment much, I'm just preparing something. So he's going to be bringing Bonds, and Bonds can mean Karakuri. Yeah, there's definitively timing, so that means he has Restart as a skill. A classic. So first turn is going to go for Cyber Dragon. Good opening core, 2 set cards. A pretty classic setup. And I've seen that Cyber Dragon core added Cybernetic Overflow, so potentially he has the fusion as well. So now he's going to be normal summoning Ninishi, which also got semi-limited to 2 for the next ban list that is going to be implemented. And just for the reminder, we are playing in post-ban list. So that means players must build a deck that respects the next ban list that Konami is going to implement. He also gets to summon Inashichi. Looks like a good opening for me. Yeah, so far the whole match has been skilled from both teams. Both of them lows. No Cyclone feels bad. Yeah, pretty much. Especially when you know that Act, since he's playing Cyber Dragon, can actually play very, very, I'd say, evil, with the fact that he has an Overflow already set, and potentially the Fusion. He's going to be the one being offensive in this match. So potentially the timing must be C-Flush searching for a card. I do believe, if I'm correct, let me see, Inashichi, he has a monster, right? No, Karakuri card. So anything. Okay. Almost forgot about that. Potentially thinking if he wants to add a Cash or maybe a Kunamzan, that will be why he's thinking that much. He's going to add another kind of card. He decides to opt for Karakuri Gamma Oil. I will be surprised because... Oh no, not be surprised. I said nothing. Goes for Musashi. Potentially looking to summon Bureido this turn. And he also brings back the Inashichi to the hand, so... 1 card set. And is this it, is the question. 3 card set is what he's going for. Battle phase goes on, and it's going to be damage calculation while using the defense stats of the monster. First Cosmic Cyclone that is going to banish the Gold Dust. He Could also use the effect of core that is in the graveyard to special summon a Cyber Dragon if he wants to, I'd say, complete his field. He's so far wanting to, I guess, save the resources, so I'm going to stay quiet and see what he's planning to do. Okay, Cyber Dragon Core using the effect from the graveyard, which lets the user special summon a Cyber Dragon. Doesn't it doesn't forcefully mean the exact Cyber Dragon, so the one we know, but anybody from the archetype. Okay, he went for defense, is going to summon Veer. So now Fishing Gate gets activated. He's going for the Cyber Style. Okay, Fiendish Chain and then Overflow. So all the spells and traps are going to still get destroyed. And interestingly, he went for like 3 Cyber Dragons he had on the field, and by destroying Overflow, you get to search spell and trap from your deck. Oh, he goes for Overflow. I'm surprised he doesn't go for the quick spell. He could have gone for Over Dragon, and that will have been possible for him to win, I guess. So he's doing a different play. He's going to use Rampage. He's going to instead stay defensive. Fair enough. Still a good turn. So now he normal summons Inishichi and he searches Kunamzan. And we're gonna have Bude, level 7 Synchro incoming. Overflow already chaining. So we're gonna have 2 cards getting popped. Inishichi and then it's going to be Musashi, so the Synchro. Is this going to be enough to stop Act or not? So far Act has a complete domination by having Rampage on the field, being able to attack 3 times. Only sends a core. The comeback. Karma Cut. Karma Cut is here. Now the problem is if he wants to keep the Kunazan or not. It's a level 5, which can tend to be bricky, especially if you have a better card. And yeah, sadly not going to be enough. Cyberlord Fusion, which is going to make... Well, he's going to go for Over Dragon, which is enough for lethal, I guess. Ah, he had 2... Oh, yeah, said nothing. He had 2 banished Cyber Dragons. And Twin Cyber Dragon is going to make lethal. So yet again another point from Act. So 2 players popping off so far in this war. 4th win for Act, 2nd win yet again for Act with Cyber Dragon. And we're gonna have Flo getting out of the table, and we're gonna have to see another player this time. Also, let me just put the scores, and while waiting for the next player to join, I'm going to be talking a bit about the Fantasy League, so going to be a bit of first time that I'm talking about it. Let me just put a better way to talk about it. Okay, how can I increase the image? Let me do this well, please. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to make it like that. So yeah, this is a new league that has been created inside the Team Wars, and it's named Fantasy League, where you can actually have an opportunity to pretty much make teams. As you can see, you just need pretty much any 12 players that are already playing Team Wars and earn points based on player performances every week. The entrant with the most points will win a prize as well, over $250. And the condition to be able to join this event, to be able to join the Fantasy League, is by being a Team Wars subscriber. That is pretty much all you need. And just in case you want to know more information, I do believe the channel is open for the people. So just in case, feel free to check Fantasy League. There's an explanation to how to join it, and you'll be able to understand in case you're interested to maybe play the event in case you weren't really able to. Well, just I think I gave all the info, but yeah. Sorry for the bad explanation. I can maybe explain yet again, but yeah. I'm gonna actually write in the chat in case you guys are interested or are participating or are already in the server. I do believe you guys can see the channel, so let me see. Yeah, exactly. So that is the name of the channel I was talking about. It's Join Fantasy League. But yeah, let me see if the player is already on the table. No. Seaflow still on the table. What is the man doing? We'll see. I don't know who's going to be the next player though.
Ooh, Takuma with 100 bits. Thank you very much for supporting Team Wars.
I appreciate it. Alright, so far I'm waiting for the next player to be able to join the room. And it's going to be Rebirty. Sounds good to me. So I'm going to click yet again spectate, the classic, and the bottom player is going to be Rebirty. So it's not a player that I've known before, first time seeing this player. Quite curious to see what he's going to bring on the table. So far Switcheroo is making a comeback. Is Rebirty going to be able to stop Switcheroo to do the comeback? Is the question. Ooh, one card only on Acta's side. It depends on the deck that Rebirty is playing, so he's gonna have 3 card set. Cosmic Cyclone gets used, banishing the right side, which is a Floodgate. Well, let's see what's going to happen. Oof. Yeah, that is a good opening, definitively. Unless he has like a way to destroy the Cyber Proto. Yeah, no. We'll see. There's Fusion Gate getting activated. Divine Wrath going to negate completely Chimera Check Rampage Dragon. And has nothing else to play, but he has a Solitaire that he can actually use the effect to bring the tuner. Yeah, that is going to be a huge change. Oh, DD Crow on the tuner. That is good. But still, Rebirthi has the back row. He has the back row, and ideally Act is gonna want to get the core, and he gets it. Is this going to be enough? Almost. So we have the Cyberlord Fusion getting added to the hand. Fusion Gate uses its effects. Yeah, clearly APK core, we agree with this. And Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon is going to get summoned. Forbidden Lance. Oh no. Oh no, that is bad. That is actually bad. If he has... Well, he has the spell, so it's going to be almost death. Unless he doesn't have any Rampage Dragon, which I will be surprised. Let's see. So he's gonna do the 3 attacks using Rampage, even if the attack is reduced. Yeah, spell gets activated. He is able to do the fusion. That means he has the other copy of Rampage Dragon. Or he just goes for the Over Dragon for the sake of it. Or Big Boy, the machine, Over Dragon on the field. And that is going to be yet again a point for Axe. So we may see how shall I say? We may see a repeat. It might be possible with the kind of matchup we see, but who knows? So Act is still alive. So far he has the best score, 5-1. No, it's going to be difficult for Rebirthi to think if he should do the repeat, especially against a Cyber Dragon deck. The DD Crow counter was actually very big, completely blocking the Solitaire though. So let me see if they are going to do a repeat. Yes, okay, so we're gonna have a repeat. First one from Drosense. So yet again it's going to be Shiranui from Rebirthi against Cyber Dragons. Well, Act as a Cyber Dragon. So yet again it's going to depend on who gets the good opening. Pretty much like that. Alright, let me see what both players have. First turn yet again from Act. He has 1 card set, 2, 3. So the double. Well, triple pretty much, since he had 1 set on the previous turn. Gozuki gets summoned. And there is some answer currently, so potentially Cosmic Cyclone, but also Overflow. And he's not going to attack. And he sends Squire to the graveyard, which I did not expect to see at all. Needle Ceiling gets banished. So that was a good patience on Rebirthi's side to not attack. Cosmic Cyclones are sometimes readable, so I didn't know how many copies he will have. That's still very good. He's going to do a Floodgate on Cyber Dragon. That actually makes me think a lot as well. So in any case, you will be able to do a fusion even if a monster is face down, because fusions you don't forcefully need to have the card face up on the field. Overflow is going to chain. And he decided to destroy Gozuki. Now that Square has been banished, he gets to draw a card, but he forcefully discards it and is going to be Karma Cut discarded. I do think it is still fine. And goes for the end phase, not wanting to attack with the little boy, the little samurai. Cosmic Cyclone has been activated, banishing Divine Wrath. We're gonna see yet again a Cyber Style. And that is going to be game. Unless there's a Sphere Kuribo. Yep. We're gonna see Rampage. Or even a... Ooh, wait! Even better, Cyber End Dragon. Lethal, piercing. And that is going to be yet again another win from Act. Jeez, that is a huge comeback so far by Act. 6.4 Switcheroo. That turn of events. That big turn of events, 6.4 Switcheroo. Now, Drought Sense is still very good by having 5 points. Time to see who is going to be the next player, so... Actually gonna have to hide it like that. And let me see... Alright. Was just seeing who are the players still in the room, who are not. Just being patient so far. Sidra is dead, not even close to be dead. Sidra is... Like, Sidra has been always a good deck, but the fact that it came back like recently in this month, a lot of people do appreciate Sidra, which is quite impressive because in the past a lot hated it. No draw sense, it's pretty much good openings in general. Roberti got a bad first duel though, sadly, because his opponent opened one card and the card that was set was a Cosmic Cyclone. And he had no monster to start the combo, no square, no solitaire, which was bad for him. So yeah. Then the second duel was actually a whole advantage for Act, as he had 3 spells and traps being set, one of them being a Cosmic Cyclone. Leave Sidra dead. No, 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 no. Cyber Dragon is fine still. It's always fine because, I mean, Cyber Dragons, they're not like monsters with always big attacks sometimes. They grow up fast, but they don't get like a big attack. It's at least how I feel. They got the potential they had before. Yes, exactly. Exactly, like as a deck it is coming back impressively. Like I'm really surprised what you can do with Sidra, the kind of way you can build the deck. And with the new box release it's going to change a lot. Oh, Gagdo, he used Shiranui, and after using Shiranui, let me think wisely. He played Cyber Dragons. Yeah, he played Cyber Dragons. So first deck was Shiranui, 4-1, and then he lost the last duel using Cyber Dragon. Okay, let me see if he's on the room. No, he's not. I'm still gonna have to watch the duel room until I see number 4 appearing so we can see who is the next player. But yeah, so far all we can do is wait, so just in case guys, feel free to make a break as well. It's important to be healthy, especially in these times where we're in COVID. In some of the countries I do think rules are even worse. In France I know it's sort of tough, but we still like come back to back in schools, like high schools, elementary schools, even college. It's sort of fine, but I still think that for elementary schools, for example, it must be not good at all. So yeah, for some of the countries, I do think it must be bad conditions because of COVID. So stay healthy, guys. Yeah, well, it's not really 6 in a row LTI. It's he got 2 wins using Ritual Beasts. Then he lost his duel, so he had to switch to the next deck. And his next deck, the one he plays currently, is Cyber Dragon. Well, yeah, pretty much, Joey. That's the kind of matchup we see in general. Like when you see Cyber Dragon, it's always like that. Who gets their turn? We're gonna have Love Train on the table. Alright. I do wonder if they're going to be able to stop this act made by Act. It can be done easily, but sometimes not if they do not open well. Cyber Dragon is this kind of deck that you have nothing, then I punish you. Playing Crystron. Ooh. And first turn Crystron as well. It's not anything at all. How RB lost to Sidra twice in a row? Did they break? No, it's not like that, Joey-Kuzan. No, no, no. I guess some of you may miss the previous duels. And he didn't play RB if we talk about Riberti. Riberti was not playing this deck. He was playing Shiranui. And the other thing is, I mean, Act has been the only player who played Ritual Beast so far. And the decks that fought against Cyber Dragons, I think there was a Blue Eyes who fought against it. Twice Shiranui definitively. And after Blue Eyes, I think... I may forgot, yeah. I remembered it, that was Karakuri, so... Cyber Dragon won against that, but then Ritual Beast won against the Cyber Dragon. Then he won against... Well, he won against Shiranui and Cyber Dragon. That's what happened. Disturbia having a hard time doing the recap for the viewers. I can actually repeat if you guys want to be knowing a bit in what kind of situation we are. There's no problem, I can repeat this twice. So far, Love Train with a very nice classic build. We have... Which card are you going to banish? There's the Cosmic Cyclone. Good opening so far by Act. He's going to go for the set card, which is an SSA. Not even afraid of the Umi. He prefers to banish the back row, just for security. So I guess he may have thought of Crystron Impact, potentially. Cyber Dragon special summon, Cyber Dragon Core summoned, yet again a good opening. Yeah, no problem, Joey-Kuzan. If you didn't understand, I can still explain. It's fine. He's going to set cards, so let me see, because I missed the card he drew. Cyberlord Fusion, so he must have the card in hand. Definitively. And now he gets to be forced. Going for a Matrix. Please no Crow in Act hand. Yeah, indeed. If he has Diddy Crow, that will be bad, but I don't think he has a Diddy Crow, because I would be surprised if he has set the spell. Which I think he did, so yeah, potentially has a hand trap. We will see. So far Love Train, no spell and trap, while the opponent really has pretty much the things. You feel weird? Well, I mean, seeing a Cyber Dragon on the field is something some of the people do not do sometimes, which I think is sort of bad sometimes. It's always nice to have a Cyber Dragon on the field, the original one, because it's a free special summon, so you get one guaranteed on the field, then you can summon a core. But of course, if you have it in hand, one of the ways you're going to want to be able to play Cyber Dragon is by praying to have a Cybernetic Overflow, so the trap card, which is letting you banish from your hand Cyber Dragon. This is like one of the things some people do not realize, which sometimes can give you the win as well. Also, while I'm waiting for any moves, I just realized nobody sees my mouse. I'm glad. Yeah, because usually I have the mouse like in the center of the duel, so people tend to see it sometimes. But anyways, dumb facts. Now, what's interesting is he normally summons Gen X Undyne, but he sends Citadel Whale. So now Citadel Whale is gonna special summon it. He's gonna be searching for Sea Stealth Attack, SSA, from the deck, put it on the field, nicely. Now I do wonder if he's going to be looking for more traps, so he does. He's going for Smiger. He has 4 cards in hand. Solfafnir has not used the effect yet again. Going for the battle phase. first attack passes, and potentially the second one. Not afraid. He knows that at some point he's going to have the skill. It just goes and attack. Now what's good is no more Cosmic Cyclones by Zane Truesdale. He still has 2 cards, and the question is if he's able to come back or not. See Stealth Attack activated on the draw phase. And it passes, no banish, nothing. Now of course no banish, I forgot that because he cannot activate Cosmic Cyclones. But he can go for the overflow. Now here it's going to be quite a hard play to do. He banishes Citadel Whale, which is good because if Ametrix gets destroyed, he's going to be able to special summon any monster he wants. Crystal Impact gets activated. He's going to be bringing Smiger to the field in defense position. So now, okay, he banishes 2. He must have the spells. Destroys only 2, so now Ametrix got destroyed. He's going to bring a Self-Fifth-Year. Oh, DD Crow. Great timing on this Self-Fifth-Year. And that is going to be a free field for him. That is going to be direct attack, no problem. The top deck DD Crow. And as well, he goes for the Rampage. I mean, Umi, SSA, do they get destroyed? I think not. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't get destroyed. So he just goes Rampage for the sake of Rampage. So I think he was like trying to see if there was any Sphere Karibo. Destroying Crystron. Act yet again. Taking a win for Switcheroo. 7-1. That is nuts. That is nuts. This is still a huge comeback and he's still going on. That's crazy. Now the question is, will Josens be able to stop this dangerous opponent? Is the only thing I can think of. Now even harder is going to be that they have to think if they want to do repeat or not. That's another thing. It is possible, LTI. I think since it's the first time you come and see Team Wars, there has been impressive results sometimes, and one of the most impressive, for example, this is from Season 7. There was a team who had a player who has done 10-1, and he used Ritual Beast and won the 10 games using Ritual Beast. A lot of people were shocked of that. So Team Wars, anything can happen. But honestly, I'm very surprised what Switcheroo is doing right now. That's crazy. But I mean, you know, Sidra is obviously skills, but also if you get the good opening, you get it. But then if you also build correctly, you also get the advantage. The fact that he's playing DD Crow is clearly clever in this position. Also, no repeat from Josens. They switch to another deck. We're going to see Black Wings instead. So Black Wings on Love Train's side. And the question is, will he open good? Is my question. I like your sentence, Winter. You actually said it in the wrong way. It is Act plays Sidra very well. It's okay. Cosmic Cyclone gets activated to... Well, he's gambling. He's gambling, choosing one of the cards for the sake of it. He's going to go for the left side. Cybernetic Fusion support gets used? Wait, he uses Cybernetic Fusion support? Also, second Cosmic Cyclone. Man, don't tell me... Okay, is there a third one? There is a response. There is a response from someone. There is a response. Both of the players in the exact same situation, 2,000 life points. I mean, I don't understand why he uses cybernetic fusion support. Because this card, what you're gonna want to do is use it when you want to do a fusion. So he used it, maybe thinking that his opponent wouldn't attack. But that is going to be quite dangerous, actually. Oh, okay, no, Black Wings player must be thinking that he may have not enough Cyber Dragons. Oh, that might be tough. Let me actually see yet again on the dual log. Yeah, he added overflow. We have Bora that gets summoned. There's still a card that gets activated. There's like, I think there's Chain from someone, I don't know who. If he has another monster, he's good to go. And the problem is he'll have to think of how to play against the spell, and the problem is the following. Even if he decides to not attack, 2 Cyber Proto on the field, Rampage, game for him. Especially when Black Wings, you cannot play the counter trap, so that's the stuff. Goes for Offerings to the Doom. Is this lethal? It is. The end of Act. Act finally gets destroyed, finally gets defeated by Drowsense. So we may see yet again a comeback by Drowsense. It is not the end for them, finally getting their 6th points after a long streak from Act with the impressive 7-2. Absolutely insane. That was crazy because using Offerings to the Doom, no, I think he was thinking of what card was set in the opponent's side. But yeah, definitively using it gave him the win. But yet again, sometimes it's a gamble. You never know. And I do want to point out though, he used his spell for no reason. He used the cybernetic fusion support for no reason. This is what pretty much gave Act his own loss. But yeah, big up to Act for this big streak, and also big up for Love Train giving a point back to his team, and they're still alive. That's what matters. Alright, so I was just verifying the scores right now, and we're gonna be waiting for the next player from Switcheroo. So they still have 2 more. They have Sov and Uno that might be joining soon. So let's see what they're going to be bringing on the table. Yeah, exactly, Winter. It's very crazy. You'll see, like, some of the wars in Team Wars, you'll see it can get to be very crazy because of like the kind of results from just one player. So that's something that is a bit common now for me, that I got to see a lot of times every time I was like streaming Team Wars. But yeah, it's still always impressive, and especially with decks like Retail Beast and Cyber Dragon, especially these 2. So I'm gonna be putting out the preparing for the next match. The next player is soon joining the table. I don't know who it is. And we're gonna have Sov. Sov on the table. He's going to be on the top. Oops. It's not Sao. I dislike Sao as well. Memes. Anyways, 2 decks on the side of Sov. Love Chain with his Blackwing still. We're gonna see a Bandy Key, so potentially Karakuri, especially with the new ban list where Invoked Neos got hit. So who is going to get the good turn? We'll see. Oh, first turn is going to go for Love Train, so Love Train can still build a nice field, especially against Karakuri. So we'll see what happens. Sov is going to be using Restart. Alright, let's see what he has on the table. I mean, it's hard to say if it is a brick or not. Some people say that sometimes people just want to use restart because they're really not that sure. And I don't think you break that much with Karakuri, but I guess for some it is. Alright, we're gonna have the early synchro Ancient Pixie Dragon on the table. Chaining with the Zephyrus, getting back the field spell to the hand. Field spell gets summoned, and he draws a card. Well, I think that might be the end of the turn for Love Train, potentially. No. Oh, no win in his deck. There is always Whirlwind in any Black Wings. He just didn't drew it. And with the, how shall I say, the current way you want to build Black Wings, you still need the Whirlwind. You will still need it because it lets you search for more Black Wings from your deck to then be able to do special summons, then be able to do the synchros. But spells and traps is what's going to change. The counter trap being hit, you will have to play other kind of cards such as Offerings to the Doom. You will see Cosmic Cyclone yet again, potentially Forbidden Lance. So it's different kind of plays. Ooh, that's a huge break on Sov's side. 3 back row. Cosmic Cyclone gets to be chained on one of them. If he hits a Karma Cut, he is in a great position. Hits a Fiendish Chain, still very good. Still very good for him. Yeah, that is a huge break, and they actually still have 1 repeat, so they're still fine. And now the Cosmic Cyclone. Hitting another Cosmic Cyclone. Well, everything is going to depend on what's in the front. What is the middle card is going to be the question. It might be a bait as well. We never know. Yes, break means the player did not have a good hand enough to be able to do most of the plays or simply the common combos. So we're back with a draw in this position, 7th point, 4 draws since. It's not over yet. Love Train getting his 2nd point. Yes, okay, I was just doing a bit of maths. Score is correct. So now Sov gets his first defeat. And first defeat means the team can decide to go for repeat. So will they go for it or not? They go for it. Sounds good to me. We're gonna have a repeat right now yet again. Last repeat for Switcheroo. So we're gonna have the same matchup. Love Train with Black Wings and Sov with Karakuri. Also Hazy with the positivity on Discord. Anyways, let's go spectate. Gorilla is worse than Brick. Wait, what? Gorilla Hand. I mean, I thought that Gorilla Hand means an amazing opening. Because, like, gorillas are, like, strong creators. So... yeah, okay. I was right. Yeah, I almost forgot. Yeah, it's all good. Alright, so first turn is going to go for Karakuri this time. And he used yet again Restart. So Sov using twice Restart, it can be good, it can be bad. I only heard some Eastern teams use it, but I like the terms. I want to spread it in Europe too. Oh, you do good. I should have done this as well. So we're gonna have Inashichi. Still a good opening. He can search for Kunamzamin if he wants to. He's gonna go for Cash instead. So now with Cash, he's going to add the second Merchant. Special summons Kunamzan. We're gonna be seeing Bude. Bude, which lets you special summon a character from the deck. I like how the meme shares all over the world. It's always nice indeed to like be sharing some jokes as well. Always good. So now Buddha is on the field, and he's going to be potentially summoning Ninichi or Kunamazan. He goes for Ninichi. Gets to summon Inashichi again. Inashichi lets you search anything, and it's not even an effect once per turn. So, goes for Karakuri Gamma Oil. Level 3 plus level 2 equals 5. He's going to be doing Musashi, which is actually a super heavy samurai card. But what's good is you can add a Machine Earth. I think it's tuner or non-tuner. I don't think it is specific. But yeah, even better. It says just add a machine type monsters from your graveyard to your hand. So absolutely great. Uses the Karakuri Gamma Oil to be able to do another synchro yet again. Level 8, Bureido. Bureido summoned. And now Bureido uses his effect, where he is going to be special summoning. And he goes for the special summon of Nisamu. So switches it to attack position, puts 2 face down, and he is going to end the turn. So classic turn from Karakuri, which is a good opening yet again. You said it right, Joy-kun-san. It always depends, like, if he still gets a Simoon, he's absolutely fine. But in any other case, Karma Cut is really going to be bad for him. So this time it's a very, very good opening from Sov. If he gets Cosmic Cyclone, he actually can come back, come to think. We're gonna have the first Cyclone getting activated. I think he only has one. Gets to use Bad Aim? Oh, okay. Okay, no, fair. On the field, spell. Sounds good. Actually, Bad Aim is also quite perturbing sometimes. Black Whirlwind. I don't think there is a response currently, possibly, but only the 2 players fighting right now can actually tell. Simoon gets to use the effect. He's gonna have to banish a card from his hand. He decides to banish Gale. Do many Karakuri run Karma now? Yes, they do. There's always going to be a lot of Karma cuts, especially in Karakuri builds, which lets you counter a lot of decks, such as Black Wings, for example. There wasn't any chain on the monster, so he let Simoon pass. Yeah, there's this part as well. They have to. Great point, Hazy. So for this that don't really understand, there's some changes about the skills because of the ban list that has been released some days ago. And so people do speculate about the changes that was said by Restart, which is you must have 7 spells and traps, and I think it's 7 spells and traps different in your deck. But for some, with the way they think of Restart, they say it's 7 different spells, 7 different traps, or just 7 spells and 7 traps. I don't know. I think it's still in a debate because it wasn't really clear, and I guess the best will be to check the Japanese translation. But yeah, I can be wrong actually. So now he's going for Raikiri. Is it going to be fine? He has Karakuri, he's not in a bad position. The problem is the set card. So now he's using Karakuri's effect. Sorry, Karakuri, Raikiri. Getting confused. So first target is going to be Bure, and goes for the face down on the Fiendish Chain. Could be worse, I think. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna halve the attack of Bureido. Problem will be if he is looking to attack or not. Going for a synchro this time. He's going for Chidori. Summons another Gale. That actually is good. Potentially. Let's see. So first attack is Gale on the Bude. So now he gets a boosted attack. So good order of attack. Giving him some nice big damage, and also has two monsters that are quite big on the field. Now the Raikiri is pretty much blocked. Chained by the Forbidden Chain. Okay, what I'm saying, Fiendish Chain. Forbidden Chain. Ooh, he topped Ninishi. Wow. Ninishi, Inashichi actually. Yet again. What a top. He's gonna be able to get a Bude yet again. That is a god hand so far. Even after restart. Decides to get Samurai. Okay. So in order of attack, I think he's gonna do Samurai Destroyer on Chidori first. We'll see. So we're gonna have Bude. Bude actually yet again lets him special summon anything. And I think that's game. If he had another Kunamzan. So now he instead has a Ninashichi on the field. I think any Ardorf attack is fine because he do negate the effect of Chidori. Yeah, just for security he attacks first this guy. And Inashichi forced to attack by the effect of Karakuri. So now this is really based on the top deck. Oh, he gets Bora. He gets Bora. He's not in a bad position still. It all depends if he has more Gale, but I think it's going to be tough for him. Let me see. Graveyard. 2 Gales. Yeah, only can get Simoon, sadly. It's not still a game for him. Has one face down. He's gonna have to attack Inashichi. He's gonna have to. He doesn't have a choice. 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 I just said it. Destroys Inashichi. 1 card on the field on the side of Sov. Sort of 1 again for him. I think he's cornered. If he doesn't play Pineki, if he doesn't have Pineki, he will need an Xyz, and otherwise that's game. Well, I think it is, sadly. Sov is going to take the win over Love Train. Getting the 8th point. Oh, that was rough. Everything depended on top deck for both players. But the one who is going to get it is going to be Sov. So now we're going to have the last player on Josen's roster that is going to join the table, which is Item. Alright, I'm verifying the scores as well. Okay, everything is good. So I'm just going to be waiting for the next player to join the table. That was quite a match. Both teams doing like insane scoring, and then it yet again gets close. The one with the advantage is Switcheroo though, with 2 points. Oh, at time. Okay. While Assistant's preparing the match. The best I can do is wait. So I think the next player is going to be joining in the table. Winner its item. Alright, so no item is on the table. And we're back. Item versus Sov. So now I do wonder what item is going to bring. Actually, it is Wait a second. I was the one wrong because I saw it's an item written like that. Both having the same... This is a mirror match. Okay. Okay. No, not mirror match. What I said, both have restart, but one is playing Dark Magician. But both use restart, which is quite surprising. Both decks are actually... No, wait, balance. Ah, I miss everything. I was actually watching Ovia Studio, but yeah, no, my bad. Item is playing balance as a skill. Sov is playing restart, which we have seen in the previous duels. He's gonna open with Inashichi. Yeah, I believe item is indeed the coach, indeed. No chain, so potentially does not have a good hand. We'll see. He opened with circle, adding a navigation. He does chain. He goes for the navigation right now. Dark Magician in defense. Another Dark Magician in defense. Which is going to boom, bada boom. Goodbye. Also summons Illusion. Holy Godhand. Holy Godhand. Yep. That is clearly the G. Item is going to take the 8th point. That's insane. That is insane. I do wonder because Drawsons can still come back. They've done very good since the beginning. So we never know. Anyways, item is going to take the first point and they will not have any more repeat, sorry. So Nosov has to leave the table. And the last player that we have not seen yet, you can already see the name, is going to be Unno. Alright, most noises. I can't speak English, I swear. Alright, trying to check the scorings. Yes. Alright, let's see whenever both players are ready. They are. And let's join. Oh, I forgot the 2 decks. Oopsie daisy. Oh, another Crystron. So I think this is the second Crystron on Switcheroo's team. Going to be quite a rough matchup because Dark Magician, when you got hand, you actually get a huge domination. But first turn is going to go for Unno. So that sort of changes a bit. Salfifnir is going to discard what? The entry. So now we're gonna have Salfifnir getting destroyed. Which card are you going to special summon? And I do believe he's going to destroy Umi as well. Ooh. In normal summons, Miger decides to use... Okay, that's interesting. Banishes Tizevern... I mean, okay. I don't think I know exactly what he's looking for, but that's a bit strange. He has no monster in the grave. If he wants to do a synchro, the only thing he will have is, how shall I say? The only thing he could do is a level 7. Level 7 machine. So far, the one that is generally summoned is going to be Samurai Destroyer. I do think there's more machine level 7 synchros. But the reason why Samurai Destroyer is used is because when you attack, you negate the monster effects from your opponent. It can surpass any Kite, for example. Ooh, Kaiku gets summoned. And he's actually, the best will be to attack. Wait, he goes for side tree. Okay. I thought he's gonna want to banish. He instead wants to force Switcheroo to use the effect. And instead we're gonna have a cringe run impact that gets summoned. Okay. He's gonna have to, he's forced. He's gonna have to attack Switcheroo with this exact situation. Especially when you see that there's 2 level 3 monsters on Uno's field. Because if you destroy the level 3, Switcheroo is alive. Talking about the tuner, so yet again. If the tuner was alive and you'd go destroy Smiger, yes, that's good. I'm going to have entries, Self-Near banished, as well as maybe Crystal Impact, which is a better card to banish, since Uno used it. But the problem is, if this card wasn't on the field, I use Switcheroo, Special Summon Amatrix, which is what Uno will be looking for. But I don't think he will do an early Amatrix like that, I don't think so. In any case, Self-Near discards the Preciortal. So no, he's going to be summoning Rayon. Brionac potentially. He cannot do Quarian Gandrax, but he could do Vermilion in worst case scenario. I think he's going to go for Brionac or Coral Dragon actually. Yeah, Coral Dragon. So I think now he must think of what to do depending on what he's going to summon using Smiger. Alright, navigation already. So I think that must be because he doesn't want to have the circle destroyed, so he goes for a Dark Magician summon. And he's gonna have to banish the Coral Dragon. I also forgot one thing, there's Kaiku on the field, so you block your opponent to do any banish. Switcheroo on the field. He gets to do Amatrix. Karma Cut, targeting the Switcheroo. And he can still use the effect of Smiger if he wants to. I think he's so far blocked. Kaiku is a very good card. Those that don't have it for Dark Magician, it must be searched. So, of course, the alternative to build Dark Magician will be using Knight and the Sorcerer, which is a tuner level 2 spellcaster. Which is nice because when you special summon it with a good chain, you get to banish 2 cards on your opponent's graveyard. But Kaiku is way better. He does the same job but every time he attacks. Plus he forces the opponent to not banish it whenever he wants, blocking a lot of decks. And going for security, now he has Kaiku using the effect. He can now banish anything he wants. Decides to target the tuner, so Rion, as well as Self-Near. Oh, he opens good this time, but he cannot banish from the grave. So all he can do is the Synchro. So I do believe Switcheroo, you can still use the... I mean, can you? I wonder. Yeah, I think there's some response. Yeah, definitely response. Going back with the Matrix. Matrix using the effect, switching the position of all the cards. Which is sort of going to change the pace in this position, especially if he goes destroy Kaiku, which will be the priority for Uno, especially when he has an Matrix on the field. Well, that is going to be game if he gets a Dark Magician. Or even Illusion Magic will be also one of the cards you want. You attribute Dark Magician or anything, then you special summon Dark Magician back. Any way to special summon a Dark Magician in this game in this turn. Does he have anything for that? Going for the second circle, risking it. Does he get a good card for him? He's going to instead get a Dark Magician. Magician Navigation, sorry. Oh yeah, that's game. Magician Rod, Illusion Magic. We know the trick. It's an illusion. So now with Illusion, he's just going to be attributing the Dark Magician that is on the field. Or does this play instead? Okay. Let's see. I will have done the reversal because if you attribute this one, you could special summon because of Illusion. Oh, okay, I see maybe what he wanted to do, but he cannot use navigation, so he'll have to set any other cards. Okay, wow, no. No. Ah, that hurts. That's a throw for lethal in turn 8. All he needed was use Illusion Magic on the Dark Magician. Dark Magician gets in the graveyard. You draw as much Dark Magician as you want. One is enough. Then, Illusion uses the effect. Second effect, if you activate a spell trap card or effect while this card is face up on the field, target a Dark Magician in the grave, special summon it. 2 circle on the field. Dark Magician gets special summon, banish a Matrix. Ah, maybe. Oh, Christian Impact. Ah, I forgot that. I forgot Christian Impact. I forgot about Christian Impact. Ah, I forgot about that. My bad. Going too fast. I think he was maybe playing around Christian Impact. He's still fine though because he has a navigation, so he can special summon Dark Magician still. We're gonna check the graveyard of both players. So Uno's side, he has an entry. Also, he draws a Rose Enix. He has an Impact, Price Hurdle, the Yumi Destroyed, and Smyger. On the Dark Magician player, we're gonna have Navigation, Circle, Karma Cut, the Kaiku Destroyed, then the Rod that is in the grave, Illusion, and Magician of Dark Illusion. Ooh, he's gonna have to use Navigation right now if he is in Toggle on. What is he going to do is the question. Also, I do believe how many side tree is banished. So there's 2 that are banished so far, 3. So Uno cannot even do. He cannot do any Quarian Gandrax, but he'll have to stop this anyway. Second Kaiku! Second Kaiku! He plays 2? Oh, that is huge. He's going to go and banish Rose Enix. Wow. Second, that is uncommon to see a second Kaiku. Definitively not something you see every day. That is quite a duel, I gotta say. Is he going to attack once is my question. Goes for the damage, for the security. I think he doesn't want to have a Smyger on the field, but he goes for the attack anyways. Alright. No, he cannot do any BRD buns. So why he cannot really do BRD is because he may play 2 Gen X controller, potentially. Rosenix is now banished. Then you can see that he has 3 side tree and the Rion banished. Oh, Psychic Wilder. Psychic Wilder. No, depending on the synchro he does, I do think he can destroy Dark Magician. But it needs to be a monster that has more attack than Dark Magician at level 6. One of the few that can do it is going to be the Gaia Knight. There's a synchro for that. I think there's more. So he's going to have powers in Zectron. Still good. He's going to be able to... No. Karma Cut. Karma Cut stopping the Insectron. And yeah, I think that's the end of the duel. Christian gets defeated by Dark Magician. Item taking the point for his team. Yet again, Drosen's taking the lead for the second time, 9-8. We might see a huge comeback. That's insane. So second win goes for Item. So now Uno has only one deck left. Which one is going to be? I actually have no clue. Maybe some of you, if you know a lot Switcher, I guess you could maybe know what kind of deck they can bring. Chat is crazy, man. I wish, you know what? For fun facts, I do hope that we get to have a layout for like the future Team Wars where you like get to see the chat again. Because that will be nice, because you know, you see the community, you see what people have to say sometimes. It's always good, you know. So potentially with Hazy, we might be doing something like that. I don't know. He'll tell me more about it later on, maybe at the end of the season. But yeah, for the moment, second last duel, Item against Uno yet again. Item with 2 decks, playing Dark Magician still, and Uno going with his last deck, which is a Yusefudo. So I do wonder what deck he's playing. We can see Dark Magician, Shiranui, or also Karakuri. 3 decks that goes well with Yusefudo. Oh, first turn goes for Item. So Circle, he gets Illusion Magic. If he opens with Rod, he's actually nice, and as well you see. Well, yeah, Rod will be great. So question is if he has a good opening. We don't know, Devil Jin. We have to see if this is the case or not. Add a chat in dual rooms. LMAO. Well, indeed that will be actually nice if we want to have like the intermission or like just the switch. I don't know. Potentially. So yet again he has a Kaiko in the field. Yet again good. 2 card set on the field. So we know he drew Illusion Magic, first of all, which is a good card. Okay. 3 Seto. Illusion Magic. And he's gonna add 2 Dark Magicians. Yeah, must be Shiranui, definitively. Oh la la. Okay, Illusion. Illusion gets summoned. No, the question is which card he wants to banish. Banishing the monster is what he's gonna want to, especially against Shiranui, but he's gonna go for back row. He's really sure. Yeah. Well, let's see what he does. He's really trying to secure the back row control, which I don't know if it will have been the best. Banishing the monster is generally enough as well. I'm seeing some strange plays is all I can say. He summons another Kaiko on the field, yet again. So let's see how he does the attacks. He's gonna attack with a big Dark Magician. Okay, so Ballista. He's gonna have to negate it. He is forced to negate. That means the opponent may have a better card coming up. No, he's gonna actually take the damage. I mean the destruction. Trying to negate the next card if it is a good one. And best part, Kaiku doing damage. He's going to be able to banish the tuner. Sorry for the mag hit. Turn of Ono. No, he's in such a big pinch. 100 life points on his side. 4,000 on item side. Gotta say, actually, the play by item paid off as well. Also, he knows he can still negate one of the cards, so anything he can summon, he is going to be fine. Another circle. So now this is good because he gets to special summon Dark Magician back. Oh, well, Fiendish Chain is negating. Is he going to want to use Illusion is my question. He can. That will also be nice for him because he gets to banish a card and he still wins the game. So ideally he's going to want to use it. I guess he also thinks if there is like 2 Fiendish Chain, which I will be surprised as well. No, he just takes the hit. He's really patient as a Duel Magician player. He wants full control. Yeah, exactly. Yet again, Max K has insane reads. If he's reading a Needle Ceiling, that's huge as well. As Max K said, there's like Needle Ceiling, which is a trap that does destroy 4 monsters, while all face-up monsters on the field if you control minimum 4. Now he finally normal summons a Duel Magician. And that was a Needle Ceiling. Max K, next commentator for the next game as well. This guy knows everything, I swear to God. But anyways, the win is going to go for DrawSense with a score of 10-8. Insanely close game. What a match. Big up to both teams. That was insane. That was insane. Huge lead by Axe for Switcheroo after the first half. And a comeback from DrawSense. That is insane. I'm actually really impressed of this match, how it turned out. That was insane. Big up to both teams. Big up to all the players. That was incredible. So just putting the last scores for all the players who played. But yeah, every team got to have all the players to play, which is pretty nice, I gotta say. Wow. I think I almost have nothing to say, but yeah, that was an impressive war yet again. Congrats to both teams. Amazing, amazing war. And good luck for the next wars, both Switcheroo as well as DrawSense. And one thing as well, so in case Hazy you're here, can I ask if you can raid for Shenmatrai, please? I do believe Shenmatrai is streaming. Yes, he does. Okay, I'm gonna ask you on Discord, but yeah, guys. So the raid is going to be optional. I'm going to raid you guys to another Team Wars, because I want to watch Shenmatrai's commentary. That would be nice before I do the Clan Wars one. Because yeah, I got quite a schedule today. And no problem, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the duels more than the commentary, which is what matters for me. You guys can enjoy the duels. And I guess my job is done. Alright, yeah, thank you very much, Hazy, for the raid. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys to see you next time. And let's go raid Shenmatrai.